Let me tell you the biggest lie corporate America tells. If you see something, say something. Because the moment you do, you're not brave, you're difficult. You're not ethical, you're a problem. And if you ever spoken up at work and been iced out, written up, or quietly pushed to the side, this live is for you. Stay with me because what I'm about to explain has a name, pattern, and a psychological cost. People are not talking about nearly enough. So, comment below if this sounds familiar. And for those who are new, welcome, friends. My name is Jenny Gaston, licensed professional counselor, and I appreciate the likes. In my last live, we talked about truth tellers and why they get punished in narcissistic systems, especially workplace systems. So if you haven't watched that yet, make sure to watch the replay because it's the sequel they didn't want you to see. So drop truth in the comments if you feel me. I see you. Okay, twin. Thank you for the love. And so I'm going to ask you a question. What is whistleblower trauma? Okay, what is that? But before we get into it, tell me where you're tuning in from. City, state, and country. So let's get into it. Truth. I appreciate that. Yes, this is our mental health Saturdays. For those who are new, thanks for joining. So what is whistleblower trauma? It isn't just about losing a job. It's about what happens to your nervous system when you do the right thing, expect accountability, and instead you're attacked. This is betrayal trauma, layered with institutional gaslighting. And your brain keeps asking, how did I become the villain for telling the truth? And the confusion, that's not weakness, that's trauma. Okay, I see Philly's in the house. Thanks for commenting. And so you might think this feels random, but it's not. And I'm going to give you an acronym, okay? And trust me, this acronym, my note takers, collect yourself. L is for labeling. Suddenly, you're negative, emotional, you're not a team player. Funny how integrity is pushed on you and not from the top. And I want you to pause and ask yourself, what label did they give me? E is for exclusion. Meetings that you used to attend, gone. Decisions made without you, constant. Isolation is strategic. It makes you doubt yourself. T is for threats, whether they're explicit or implied. Performance plans, HR meetings, concerned emails. Nobody says retaliation out loud, but your body feels the threat. H is for harassment and paper trails. Suddenly everything is documented, but your behavior, okay? This is where anxiety spikes and sleep is decreased. A, administrative punishment, role changes, impossible workloads, or you may get hardly any work and you wondering, am I making a contribution? This is tough, guys, and I want you to know that you are not alone, okay? You are not alone. Unfortunately, this is happening to countless of people because it's systemic. This is why we're having these challenging conversations. And so I want you to comment systemic if you're like, I feel you, I hear you, for sure, for sure. And so let's take a moment to pause here. How are you feeling in light of all this? This is my feeling pillow. You can Google the feeling wheel to get this diagram. I would save it on your phone. It's a screenshot. It's also a great tool for children because often, it's great to have that language and, for teens as well. All right. Thank you. Someone just commented, I hear you. I appreciate the feedback. Yes, yes. All right now. And so, we have to take care of our nervous system, especially during these times. We're living in very stressful times, okay? And if you missed the acronym, you can always watch the replay, all right? You can always watch the replay. So let's continue. Because next we're going to talk about how the let them theory applies. All right. And for those who haven't read the book by Mel Robbins, you definitely want to grab it. It's a great resource. And so let's talk about our bodies, why our bodies feel on edge. This is the part that workplaces ignore. Your nervous system. When retaliation happens, your body stays in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. You're hypervigilant, you replay conversations, and you don't trust authority anymore. For those who are not familiar, fawning is like a form of people pleasing. It stems from childhood trauma, and many times this is how we respond to stress. We cave and we say, okay, this is overwhelming, whatever you want, whatever you want. But then we lose our voice, okay? And so this is, like I said, not weakness. It's a trauma response. It's your brain trying to keep you safe. And just when you think you're adjusted, boom, the next email, the next meeting invite, the next shoe drops. Stay with me, because in the next section, we're going to talk about reclaiming your power. Okay, I don't only want to point to the problem, but we want to discuss the solution. I want to give you the tools. So far, if this content is your vibe, kindly subscribe. All right. So let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. So let's apply the let them theory here. We can't control how employees or employers treat us, right? That's based on their leadership style, their egos, projections, right? The systems. Sometimes it's just narcissistic. So the most regulated thing we can do is let them. Let them be who they are. Let them show you who they are. But, and this is important, let them does not mean tolerate abuse forever. It means we stop burning our nervous system trying to change people who benefit from the system staying the same. We can control ourselves. We can't control others. So how we do that? With preparation, with an exit strategy. And for a lot of people, when we think about workplace trauma, the fear isn't just the job. It's the financial trap. Let's be real. The reason why your body's in survival mode is because you feel like you can't leave. So yes, I'm going to say something practical here. Healing is not just emotional, it's financial. This is where radical self-support comes in. Aggressively paying down debt, canceling subscriptions you don't really need, cooking more for a season, even if it's not forever. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because you're buying freedom. And if you can build 3 to 6 months emergency savings, that is going to be a game changer. That nest egg is nervous system regulation. It's the difference between I'm stuck here and I have options. When your body knows that you have a cushion, your cortisol drops. You stop freezing. You stop people pleasing your boss. You start seeing clearly. So when we say let them, we also say let us prepare, let us stabilize, and let us pivot when the time is right. And once we talked about the external safety, now we can go inward. All right, so let's talk about more mental health tools like journal prompts, okay? I love to journal. Sometimes I use my phone. It's password protected. I do have some strong readers at home, okay? So grab your pen and watch the replay because I'm going to give you a few prompts. So number 1, what truth did I tell that disrupted the system? 2, how did my body respond during retaliation? Not my thoughts, my body. 3, what parts of myself did I shrink to survive? 4, What did I say that protected me but felt risky? You have to applaud yourself. Many times we gaslight ourselves. Did I do the right thing? Because I got so much pushback. But listen, using your voice, advocating for yourself, setting boundaries is always typically the right thing. Well, I wouldn't say always, but 9 out of 10, it is typically the right thing to do. If you do it in a respectful manner, of course, right? And you want to ask yourself, what does justice look like for me now? Whether it's validation, safety, and you can always come back to this and watch the replay. So let's talk about breath work, because this is something you can apply in the moment, especially if you work in a very stressful environment. So let's breathe together. Let's take a moment. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Smell the roses. Hold for 2. Blow out the candles. Release that breath. Another inhale. Bring your shoulders up and back. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale. Bring your shoulders up and forward and release that breath. Remember, friends, you are not alone. If this video cracks something open, please don't process this alone, okay? We have NAMI support groups that are free. If you Google NAMI, NAMI, it's an acronym. They offer education for trauma, anxiety, and depression. And if you want a community with us, I do have a Facebook support group, No Contact, Not Chronicles, a space where we can disengage from toxic systems and just be real. And guess what? We believe each other, right? There's no gaslighting there. So remember, you don't have to explain yourself here. You already believe. And let me say this clearly. You were not punished because you were wrong. You were not punished because you were disruptive. It's more so you disrupted dysfunction. Let that sink in. And if this resonated, like, share, and comment, because silence is how these systems win. So the more we talk about it, the more we bring awareness, the better. And remember, healing happens when we speak up. So continue to speak your truth, and I'll see you in the next live. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. And subscribe so you don't miss us next Saturday. Much love, much love.